Hi guys, it's Allison here, and I wanted to create a video because yesterday I posted my dinner and it was steak and french fries, and people were appalled that I would post french fries as my meal. It was actually interesting. I got multiple text messages, multiple emails, multiple Facebook stuff because of steak and potatoes, and they're like, I thought you eat clean, I thought you eat healthy, why would you have all this stuff if you're leading us astray? It was like really interesting. And so what I wanted to do was just have a little conversation about clean eating according to me, my world. So again, there are many different options, many different definitions when it comes to clean eating, and many different things that are kind of out there. And as a personal trainer, as a precision nutrition coach, and a healthy lifestyle coach, I like to really just create an environment for myself to have a way to eat healthy and do all these different things. But I want to share a little bit more about clean eating when it comes to me and how I work with my clients and I work with my challengers and keeping you guys kind of focused on clean eating. So first of all, let's talk about what clean eating is not. Clean eating is not a diet. This is not a restrictive way of eating. It's not a short-term quick fix or fad. Clean eating really is a lifestyle approach to eating and cooking foods without the stress of counting calories and sacrificing flavor and breaking the bank. I mean, that's the big thing about clean eating, is that it's not about eating kale. I love kale, but it's not about just eating kale all day and sacrificing flavor, sacrificing food and things that you really enjoy. I love food. Anyone who knows me knows that I love to eat, I love to cook, I love good food, I love food with flavor, and I didn't want to sacrifice that in the greater scheme of things for like eating healthy. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, I wanted to make sure I could still enjoy food, because if I took that away, then I'd just be really upset. But here's the thing. When I first got started with clean eating, my journey leading up to this point really was because I used to be a junk food eater. I would eat whatever junk food was available. I thought that as long as I worked out hard and did Insanity and did P90X and all these like crazy intense workout videos, I could eat whatever I wanted. And because of that, whenever I feel like my jeans a little bit tighter or whatever, I would still do my crazy workouts, but I would just do a fad diet, or I would do some cleanse or detox or whatever that was like shiny, brand new or whatever. And what I realized with that is that I kept kind of doing this with my weight. It was like a roller coaster. I was on like a weight loss roller coaster. I would like gain a few pounds, lose a few pounds, gain a few pounds, lose a few pounds. And it would happen pretty frequently, even with me working out consistently. Hi, Fanny. Oh, I miss you so much. But thank you for, Fanny is awesome because she's in my clean eating accountability group and she's always posting her awesome meals. But I was kind of like on this roller coaster, and I wasn't taking really good care of myself. I wasn't really happy with my body, and I ended up in a doctor's office with a holistic doctor who was saying, you know what, you are treating your body like a garbage can, you're eating a bunch of junk, you're being, just totally disrespectful to your body. And the doctor kind of gave me this list of all these foods that I should be incorporating into my diet. Some of the foods I had never even heard of. And then the foods that the list he gave me, I went to like Whole Foods, and my grocery cart was so like my bill was so expensive. I was like, I can't eat this. I can't, eat all these things. I don't know what they are. And I was just really defeated. And it took me about 2 years to truly understand how to eat and cook food that would benefit my body, give me what I needed, help me to maintain a weight that I'm happy with and that's comfortable for my body, but without sacrificing a lot of different things. And thanks, Shalyn. Yep, kale. I love kale. So it was only fitting that I wore this shirt. But it took me a while to get to that point. And so when I started my journey with clean eating, I had to really get to the bare basics of nutrition and food. I wasn't about to be counting calories. I didn't have time for that. I have a busy schedule. I have a lot going on. So that was something I couldn't really deal with. I couldn't keep shopping myself to Whole Foods and spending like $300, $400 for one person to eat healthy and, foods that were recommended. And also, I didn't want to eat food that was just bland and didn't have any flavor. So over that course of 2 years of just experimenting with things, I realized that the bare basics of clean eating, and these are the principles that I live by. And again, there are tons of principles everywhere, definitions, but this is according to me, so I want to share them with you. So the first and foremost thing when it comes to clean eating is that you choose foods that are real and whole. You want to choose foods that are as minimally processed as possible. Newsflash, we live in a country where food is manufactured and processed and pumped with preservatives and artificial sweeteners and artificial colors and all these things to make food look pretty on a shelf, to make it appealing. There's tons of marketing and advertising that goes behind all of this stuff. And it's an industry in itself. But a lot of those foods that are on the shelf, that are in the middle of the grocery store, that are shelf stable and non-perishable, those are the foods that are so far pretty detrimental to our health, to our mental health, our emotional health, to our hormones, to our adrenal glands. There's so many things that go into that food that's not food. And our bodies are meant to eat food. Okay, so if your body is trying to eat real food, then it's perfectly fine, and digest it and break it down to macronutrients like protein, carbs, fats, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, when we eat foods that have all that crap and junk into it, our body doesn't know what to do with it. And so our hormones are get all crazy. For me, some of you guys know my story. I have struggled with, some mental illness type things, with depression and anxiety. And, what I found is a lot of those chemicals actually impacted me. Memory fog, brain fog, moodiness, irritability, just kind of not always there, mood swings, all this stuff. And that was one thing that I noticed when I started eating real foods, that I started to just normalize and felt like a normal person without having to be on the medications that the doctors are trying to put me on to balance my depression. And, that's the thing. The body is a very smart organism. It can do a lot of great things, but it can't really do its job when it's constantly pushing all these chemicals and preservatives and artificial fillers into our body. It's trying to decipher what it needs to focus on. It's trying to digest things it doesn't understand, as well as food to give you the functions to walk, to breathe, to think, to speak, to just be a normal, happy person. So you want to choose foods that are clean and healthy. So for example, yesterday when people were freaked out that I had steak and French fries on my menu. Okay, steak. What is steak? Steak is meat. It comes from a dairy. It was organic grass-fed steak that I got, and the potatoes were, maybe not the healthiest vegetable out there, but it's better than going to McDonald's and getting deep fried, potato paste little straws that are fried. I cut them up and tossed them in coconut oil and baked them with some garlic, garlic and some salt-free herbs, and that was it. And it was perfectly fine. I started with some veggies and it was great, but people were like, I can't believe you ate steak. I can't believe you ate potatoes, they're so bad for you. That's a fad diet mentality. That's all these fads that are out there that are telling you what you should be eating and telling you should restrict things out of your diet. Here's another thing about clean eating. It shouldn't be restrictive. Instead, there's so many amazing foods out there: fruits, vegetables, lean cuts of protein, organic, healthy, options for dairy, whole grains, complex carbs that are good for you. There's so much out there, and people think you should only just be eating kale and that's it, or, boiled chicken or whatever. That's not it. It's all about experimenting with foods, figuring out what works for your body. And this is what's really cool about eating clean as well. When you start focusing on just, foods that you get, not foods that come from a box, newsflash, guess what? Shells and cheese is not a food. Okay, that doesn't come from the earth. That's something that comes in a blue box with a gold sauce is not really food. If I want macaroni and cheese, I will make it from scratch. I will use, real butter, real, good cheddar cheese. I'll use, real organic milk. I'll use whole ingredients. Is it going to be the healthiest all the time? No, but my body knows how to break it down, and it can kind of get it through its system and do what it needs to do and get back on track. Secondly, when it comes to clean eating, if you're focusing on doing that and experimenting, trying new recipes, going onto Pinterest, going to my blog, going to my Instagram account, looking at the foods that I'm posting, they're all real ingredients. I use things that, that are in my pantry, that are easy to get, that are not expensive, and are actually things that your body knows how to break down. But the issue is that we get all caught up on what we can't eat. Well, no, you shouldn't be eating junk and candy all the time. You shouldn't be drinking diet sodas. You shouldn't be getting a lot of your calories from your beverages. It amazes me how so many people, drink all these sugary beverages and different things. That's so many calories right there that with your food alone, without even eating food, you're almost at like your calorie count for the day. And that's the thing, it's like I want you guys just to focus on eating foods that are, just easy to figure out, that your body knows what they are, and have some fun with it. Experiment with it. Go out there and see what's available for you. And when you're eating clean, this is what the point I was trying to get to. When you're eating clean, what happens is you become more intuitive with your body, and you become more intuitive with what foods work for your body and what foods don't. For some people, quinoa is like the best, complex carb, complete protein ever. For other people, like me, although it's amazing, if I eat too much of it, I get puffy. My face gets puffy, my stomach gets a little, puffy. And it's just because of too much of quinoa, just my body responds to it. But because I'm eating clean as much as possible and I'm choosing foods that my body can recognize, I can immediately notice when something is off. Someone just mentioned in the comments, I don't want to scroll down, but they said they ate McDonald's and they started crying, like they felt so bad. Because your body, when you're eating clean, and we've all been there. If anyone's been on like a kick where they've eaten healthy or eaten clean, and I know I'm not the only one, where you just go for it and you just indulge in like all this stuff, the next day you feel horrible, like your stomach hurts, you got gas, like your head hurts. The last time I was in North Carolina visiting my family, my cousin is the most amazing baker ever. She made this like pound cake, and every night I would sneak and like get a little piece of the pound cake. And by being there for 4 days, after 4 days of pound cake, little like sneaks in the middle of the night, by my last day there, I was so sick, I literally thought that I was gonna die. I legit was like, this is how it ends. Like, Allison Tibbs dies because of a pound cake, like, overdose. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, I felt so bad. But it was because my body just wasn't used to it. My body was like, what are you doing? This is too much. We'll let you have a little bit. You can live a little. You can enjoy it. But after going back to a habit of eating it every night, my body just shut down. And it was like, listen, now we have to take over. So when you are eating clean, your body gets to know what it can take and what it can't take. I realized from doing the 21-day fix extreme and really limiting my dairy that dairy is something that really affects me. I can do goat cheese, but doing a lot of cheese from like a cow, my body just responds to that. But I wouldn't have known that if I was constantly putting so much junk and crap into my body. So I just wanted to create a video because I was like, amazed at how many people were so appalled at my steak and french fries. Yes, you can eat french fries, just choose to create a healthier alternative to it. You can do sweet potato fries or bake them instead of deep frying them in vegetable oil. Use coconut oil and roast them in a pan or roast them in the oven. Yes, I do eat sweets. If you guys saw my Instagram, my Facebook, I made brownies, and they were gluten-free brownies, but they were the best brownies I've ever made. My girl Kylie tried them, she loved them. My girl Christina, who is gluten-free, she tried them and she loved them. Ambi, she tried them and loved them. But again, I took brownies. It was a recipe that I got from my friend Jenny, and I just swapped out the regular flour with almond flour. I swapped the butter with coconut oil. I used brown sugar instead of regular sugar, and voila, I had some really great brownies that were healthier. Now, should I be eating brownies every day? No, but if I want to eat a brownie, I'm gonna do it because I know how to eat and cook foods and be more consistent with it on like an 80 to 90% of the time. That 10% of the time when I eat, a brownie or a cookie or, a burrito that's like packed with everything that, except the kitchen sink, my body knows how to respond and kind of get through it. And I know that's not an everyday thing. So hopefully hopefully I was able to share some transparency with my own journey. You know, I don't eat healthy and clean all the time. Joseph, I'm gonna make you those brownies because you totally deserve those brownies. You are a rock star. You just got back from Tokyo, so that's on the menu. I'm gonna make them this weekend, so you're gonna get some brownies for your next race. But you know, that's just some transparency for you guys. I don't eat clean 100% of the time. I'm not always eating veggies and, you know, kale and, you know, beets and all this stuff. I eat real food, and if you follow me on any other social media platform, you see what I eat. But the whole premise is just to show you guys how you can make food that tastes great, that's kid approved, that's family approved, that's, you know, not going to be a hindrance to your lifestyle or change it drastically. And you can start with baby steps. It doesn't have to be a full overhaul. I think so many times we complicate, you know, nutrition because we're listening to so many things and, you know, different diets and different things that are out there and things are being marketed to us. This is a billion-dollar industry right now. You know, the food manufacturing, the weight loss industry, they're manufacturing and creating all of these programs and products because they know you don't know exactly what you should be eating. They know that you're desperate for change, that you want to be healthy. And they capitalize on it. And that's kind of one of my things. Like, I'm sick of it because I was a victim of it. I spent so much money on so many diets and books and pills and, you know, all these weird things on this quest to just like have this perfect body and to like whatever, when all I really needed to do was just get the junk out of my system, start eating foods that I enjoy, start doing more cooking at home, not eating out as much, watching my portions, not overeating, and just doing what I could do with what I had. And that's what I'm encouraging for you guys. Just do what you can do with the resources that you have, with the ability that you have. Don't try to make it too complicated or difficult. And once you master one part of clean eating, then move to the next, you know, and keep growing until it becomes a lifestyle, because then, you know, it trickles into other areas of your life. And that's really what I'm trying to get across in this video, and who I am as a person, what I do as coaching, what I do in my challenge groups. So that's really a big part of who I am and what I'm trying to do. So hopefully this was helpful. I love the comments. You guys are really awesome. I didn't know how this would be received, but I'm going to keep trying to do more videos just to kind of like share that stuff with you guys. If you do want more accountability or you want more resources, I will post in the comments below the link to my free clean eating accountability group. It's just a group where I share recipes, I share my meals, I share, you know, resources, tips, answer your questions. I do a lot of Facebook Lives like this in that group. That's kind of like my little clean eating tribe, because I know it can be really difficult. So a lot of my tribe's actually on here right now, which is awesome, and commenting. But if you guys want to be a part of that, I'll put the link in the comments here. But if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. But other than that, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Friday, and hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, you know, you can just contact me. I'm always available to answer those questions. But thanks, and if you need anything, you know what to do. But the comments below will have some information for you guys soon for the clean eating group that you can join and be a part of that tribe. All right, you guys, thank you. And Joni, I'm glad that this was helpful for you. Love you too. You've been with me on this journey for a long time. Shaylin, Fanny, my mentor, Shelly Hunt is on, you know, Joseph, one of my amazing, you know, he was a stranger to a client to now a really good friend to now a running buddy. So, you know, guys, this is just, you know, I really appreciate your guys' support with this. And again, any questions or anything, let me know. All right, happy Friday. Go eat some kale and have a fantastic Friday. All right, bye guys.